How can one born in the pit of life's struggles see past their own existence? When you have naught but a brass penny to your name, what truth can you know save hunger, or the desire to survive? Power breeds malfeasance. Your kings and queens squander lives like pawns on a chessboard. It is no wonder the darkness fills your heart so. Soon nothing will exist without the taint spreading like a wildfire. Most that can see it ignore it. They shut it in a box in the mind. But no box is closed forever. The mantle has fallen to me to right the world's wrongs. No other will combat it. No other will see it done. The pyramid of society must be rebuilt, brick by brick, stone by stone. But first, we must knock it all down. I'm sorry for what is to come, but before rebirth, there must be death.
With fire comes great sacrifice. And I don't mean Elyon. I'm talking about the hope that I had for settling down, having a family. I could have had a peaceful life if I just took it. But I didn't. Now, all I have is hatred in my heart for Carnifex. Every fibre of me being wants to destroy him, wants to tear him limb from limb, wants to tear his body and smell his flesh burning. I will use anything and everything I have to my advantage to destroy what he has built. I will watch it crumble, and I will laugh. Nothing will stop me from turning his dreams to ash. A coward I was, once died by others to protect myself. I no longer. The coward shall be buried, and the sorceress shall rise.
After gathering a great deal of coin from that witcher I killed, and the others that fell under my blades, spoils from the fools that defied me, I parted company from the pretty elf mage, the dwarf prostitute, and the one-armed woman. It was time to go my own way. I will soon lead a band worthy enough to assist me in carving my name into the black flag of Nilfgaard. Many will know the name Rothmyr, and fear the dark behind them. They will know they pay a hefty fee for the prime assassin of Cintra.
He left so suddenly. I should have seen it coming, but somehow it came as a blow. A man of my profession can't get entangled, can't get attached. So said Rothmyr. I'm a tracker by trade. It's been said Sorcerer could find a mole's shadow. Tracked down Borik, but he wasn't alone. Things would have ended badly indeed if Rothmyr hadn't returned to camp and saved me from the mercy of merciless men. Beaten nearly unconscious, my clothes torn from my body, he wrapped me gently in his cloak, dagger still bloody. Don't ask me why, I never understood it. After collecting the bounty, we took other jobs together. We're nigh inseparable for several months. Then he was just gone. He had warned me. I should have listened. My ears heard, but my heart was deaf. Where is he now? I don't know, only rumours. If we meet again, will he be glad to see me? Perhaps it is better to let it go, to get back to the hunt. Perhaps my pain will become lost in the forest.
Alright, this is Season 2 of No Peace Until Death, a Witcher tabletop role-playing game campaign. For those who are seeing this for the first time, please go back and watch Season 1 first. It will make everything make sense. Otherwise, you could probably pick up here, but it won't be as clearly. So, tonight we're starting with Ayla. Ayla is a sorceress, and as I said, watch the previous season first, and you'll know exactly who she is and what predicaments she's been in so far. This is session 1, and it is called Burying the Past. And we will get started now. It was mere days since Ayla had lost the love of her life, Elyon. They had been reunited after many decades, only to be parted forever within moments. Life was not fair. Ayla had walked a path of peace and purpose, but what had that gotten her? A dead fiance and years of loneliness. But she had taken up Elyon's burden, and it had changed her. So suddenly she felt a power always beyond her. Her body was imbued with unnatural strength, but at what cost? Here in Vinced Artur, she prepared her next step. A wizard in a tower, seeking revenge. Beneath her sat a treasure of strange metal more precious than gold. She could feel the power radiate from the cells and make her stomach turn. How could she fashion it to serve her against her enemy, Elyon's enemy, Carnifax? The powerful wizard and aristocrat's manse was only a week's travel away, but victory seemed so much further than a simple trek up the road. Something was stirring. Ayla could feel it, and she was sure Carnifax was behind whatever horrors were to come. The world was changing again, and not for the better. Ayla's last days were focused on her new powers. She was forced to train her mind, body, and soul equally. The sorceress was not sure she understood everything that had happened to her, but there was no time to linger. Her plan must begin soon. A scant few of the Scoia'tael had remained by the tower, many fleeing after Elyon's death, back to the town of Haldur on the edge of the woods. Elyon's body had begun to rot, awaiting a proper final rite to send his spirit to the afterrealms. Ayla had remembered Myrth. It was a much simpler time when love was young and the weight of the world was not upon her shoulders. In your newly claimed tower, Ayla, you sit looking over some of Elyon's old notes. A few days had passed since that fateful night when Elyon had you take his own life, and in doing so, causing a change in yourself that would last forever. Go ahead and give me a Season 2 intro, if you would.
For the last few days, Ayla had been poring over the various parchments, leaflets, books that Elyon had kept in this tower. She had felt the new power surge and grow within her as the dagger had entered the gut of her love. Felt it turn her, make her become something better, stronger. This time with some sort of burning hatred towards Carnifax. She had once been scared and terrified of a sorcerer who had been fabled to take her love. A man who had tried to kill her, who had visited her many times, had set witchers upon her and her friends. All she felt was hatred and anger towards him. Felt a need to exact revenge for Elyon, but not exactly for him. This burning desire was now hers, and seeing the weakness that Elyon had portrayed, the inability to finish him off in the first place, disappointed Ayla, making her take the cause upon herself, not telling her exactly what she was all in for. She channeled the anger into her studies,
try and find out ways to improve upon these new magics that she had learned, these new powers that she had acquired. All that she wanted now was the destruction of Carnifax. No longer the lofty goals of once joining hands with all the elves and all the humans on the continent. Now just revenge. She knew that as her hatred has been motivating her in her studies, she knew the hatred of others could motivate them into helping her. But before that could happen, she needed to bury the man she sought for so long. 67 years she searched for him, only to have to end his life. Now untethered by the bounds of love, the blindfold taken off, only one thing was left to do before she could truly be free to pursue the revenge that she needed to have. And so Ayla closed the book that she was reading. She was studying, put away the quill, the ink, extinguished the lamps within the room. She ventured back up to where Elyon's body lay, still untouched after the blade had entered his stomach.
Say that last part again, you cut out.
Ayla ventured back up to Elyon's body lay to take him to the place for his final resting spot, to the forest of Myrth.
You climb the stone stairs up into the room where you've been keeping him. There, his body has been covered with a shroud. Myrth is some ways away, but with your newfound abilities of teleportation, you could be there as soon as you willed.
She looks to the body and frowns a bit, figuring out the logistics of carrying him. Nose wrinkling at the pungent smell that emanated from him. She did her best to use any sorts of herbs to stem the tide of the rot. But of course, with time, everything fades. She goes over his body and leans down. Well, Elyon, looks like this will be the last time we're traveling together. You've been a mighty fine companion these last few days. Finally shutting up long enough for me to talk for once. Well, hopefully I can remember the exact specifics of the tree. That way we can get this done quickly.
You speak to the corpse of Elyon, and he does not reply. It would have been a surprise if he had, but over the last few days, who knows? But bringing one from the pits of death is a power that none possess that Elyon knows. Elyon, resting on a table that one of the Scoia'tael had devised, with wheels where Ayla could push him through a teleportation tunnel, or a door, for that matter, if she so wished, for ease of transport for this very moment.
Ayla goes to the head of the table, towards Elyon's head, places a hand on where his forehead would be, She extends her other hand, right one out towards the doorway across the room. She frames the door with her hands, chanting an elder speech, finally summoning up the magics necessary to create a portal to what was to be their home in another life.
As you cast the spell, you feel something that tugs across your spine. It almost feels like someone raking a dull blade across your skin. You felt it ever since you plunged that blade in Elyon's stomach. It's unnatural. Something with your powers have changed, but all the while you find it easier to cast the spell. A semi-translucent circle shimmers before you and the corpse of your former fiance.
Ayla shivers as she again feels raking of a blade down her spine. She continues to hold her hand out towards the circle of shimmering light and again speaking to Elyon. Off we go. Hopefully this works. I haven't tested it much till now. That she pushes the two of them towards and through the portal.
You push Elyon ahead of you, and his body and the table both slowly disappear. As your hands pass through, they too disappear before your eyes. And finally you step through yourself, totally immersed in this new magics you had conjured out of almost thin air, learning them in a span of days when such things usually took months or years. As your eyes open wide, you look about your surroundings. Unlike what you remember long ago, this place is not bright. The greens and the browns, they do not shimmer off the light above. Something strange here, decrepit. The trees are gnarled and bent. The roots form what appear to be skulls all about you. But at the same time, your memory flashes back. You see the tree in front of you. You see general similarity to what it was before. But everything is dark. A gloam passing over the tops of the trees and the canopies as a flock of birds, now disturbed with your presence, race off the branches and almost in unison scream out a warning. It leaves you alone with Elyon, your only companion, on a table unnaturally sitting haphazardly on a pile of fallen branches and vines.
Ayla looks around, slightly surprised by the visage now in front of her. She's confused as to what had happened. Only been a few decades since she'd been here last. It shouldn't have changed so much. Looking around, she frowns, thinking back to Carnifax, thinking back to how his magics had corrupted, putrefied everything that he touched. How, in general, humans had corrupted, twisted everything the elves had made to make them their own. She looks around. What was the force of Myrth? She sees this as a sign of how the times have changed, how the corruption has taken root here in a way as it has everywhere else. This was the place, and she wasn't going to move anymore. She looks to Elyon's body on the table, secures it before moving over towards the tree. Again, speaking to Elyon. You remember, this is to be our home. We're to have a child here. I live here, and I was going to make tonics and have people venture here if they needed healing, and you... You're more focused on your songs back then and your magics. Unfortunately, I was but a dream, as this place was. All dreams eventually need to die.
Ayla, as you're talking to Elyon in this place, why don't you give me a perception roll?
And that is under intelligence.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think perception is.
Awareness,
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are... What are you going to do now?
Ayla finds some roots, hauls them up, basically attempting to make a space, maybe use idle magics to dig a hole. Just in the side, by the tree here. And once not a very deep crevice is made, but enough to settle a body in, she moves back over to the table. She takes the cloth that has been draped over Elyon off to get a look at him one last time, even as putrid as he is.
As you look at him, he's much changed, even from the last time you had looked upon him. Did you look at him after he was dead?
Oh yeah, I think it was like his skin was like patchwork and stuff, from what I remember.
Yeah, you subconsciously touch your neck as you see his skin has blackened terribly. His nose is necrotic and appears like it's ready to fall off. His eyes are now nothing but almost gelatinous goo as he is decomposed quite rapidly. You have a feeling that it has something to do with the powers that you now hold. And you wonder idly what your future entails.
Ayla looks down the corpse of Elyon, this not being the man that he was before. Her knowing that he looked awful when he died as well. She frowns, looks to the cart, looks to the hole. I'm not even sure why I brought you to this place. Mostly for my own closure. Only closure I'm ever gonna get. Fortunately, you're a decayed corpse now. Probably died many years ago before I even saw you, in a way. You died when the guards came for you and pulled you away from me. I should have never come looking for you. And with that, she doesn't touch the body. She doesn't pick it up and move. She just looks to the cart and she just kicks it over, watching his corpse spill onto the ground. You're nothing now.
As you kick the cart over, the body topples near the vines. You're quite surprised to see the roots and the vines reach up and snag him and drag him into their clutches, almost squeezing him tightly beneath their grasp. This is not magics that you had done. No, it's something else, something stranger. You could swear you see the eyes and the skulls light up slightly as they take Elyon in their embrace. You're so transfixed on this, you do not even realize that behind you stands a figure. Who do we have here in the dark woods of Brooklyn?
Ayla freezes after seeing Elyon's body be consumed by the branches. And she looks over her shoulder, doesn't turn around, just... The name's Ayla. I come to bury a body. I apologize if I disturbed you.
Why do you bring such darkness to this place? For this is a place where what you see is what you bring.
She smiles a bit. I remember when it was a very bright place. Filled with much warmth and happiness, but unfortunately, over the years and recent events, I guess have changed these perceptions.
Perception. Yes, perception is internal. What you perceive around you is what you bring with you. It is the way of Brooklyn.
I wish that I could have brought something much happier then. Unfortunately, there's not much happiness left in me.
The dryad, which you recognize, her features are part woman, part tree. Her hair, instead of actual hair, are leaves, but they could be confused if you were not paying attention. As a normal woman's hair, her eyes glow gold as she stands there before you. She wears next to nothing, only vines covering her torso and wrapping around her groin. She takes a slight step forward, her bare feet on a rickety branch, laying close to the ground. It almost seems as if she's gliding across it as she approaches you. You have come to Brooklyn now. I would wish to take you to my sisters, so that we may speak further.
And Ayla fully turns around regarding the dryad. She smiles widely at her. I am perfectly happy following you to speak with your sisters. So I'd like to know what about.
Well, in these times any that come to our wood, especially... And she looks over her shoulder and gives a hand and swings it towards the image that you see in such a state. Well, adding to the corruption of these woods, it is something one must speak of and speak for. For this is a corruption of our home that you have brought with us, and it will take us many years to clear this corruption of what you have brought with you.
Well, if it's the longer I stay, the more damage I do, I can leave right now and not be a bother anymore.
She shakes her head. No, the damage is done. We are suppressing anything else from spreading. We are safe from you now.
Fine. I'll come with you. And Ayla extends a hand to the dryad.
The dryad simply turns and begins to walk, not taking your hand.
Ayla lets her arm swing back down to the side and continues to follow the dryad emissary, mostly curious as to what awaits her.
You begin to walk through the woods, and eventually this scene does fade. The darkness you leave behind as you feel an unnatural presence radiating around you, as if you were being shielded from something or something was being shielded from you. One sec.
Would I know a little bit about Brokalon Forest?
Yeah, probably. You can give me a,
Wilderness survival?
or even education.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it has a very bad reputation, clearly. And it, you know that there's dryads in the forest, and many that enter do not return, particularly if they bring harm to the forest. But you're unsure of really anything else with that role.
All right. Yeah, Ayla will be concerned internally, but know that if she needs to, she can make a quick escape.
You head deeper into the forest, it seems. You're completely turned around. There would be no way to know how to get out without your magic. And as if out of nowhere, you turn a corner and there is a large shrine standing in the middle of a small stream with stairs that reach up behind it and through it. It is an elegant piece of work, but you can tell it is ancient, likely from the times before humans came to this land. You see at the top of the stairs and around the area, 3 other dryads are about. One is fairly typical. She is blonde-haired, green-skinned. She's completely naked. She stands with a bow at her side and a quiver of arrows strung on her back. Then another, seated, her eyes almost awash in flame, her hair tendrils of vines. She looks up angrily, almost. Half of her face is scorched and burnt. Her skin is more bark-like dark brown. And then finally, in between them, a beautiful, beautiful dryad. Her skin more recognizable as a normal person's, a human's or an elf's, with her long ears, her long hair. It tends to look more realistic and not wood-like. She has a sash over her body as she steps down and looks to the dryad that brought you here and you and says, "The corruptor." And the emissary nods and steps back, folding her hands across her chest, as Maureen, as she introduces herself with a bow, approaches.
Ayla takes a bit of a bow to Moira. Most call me Ayla. Seems like a bit of a better title than the corruptor.
We will see. I wonder. You brought this man here to be buried, and he is in your dark place now. Do you know what this will cause us? We will need to ward from this corruption for years to come. I am sure my sister has spoken of it.
I do apologize for corrupting the forest. Not something I intended to do.
Yes. I see that. She walks along the banks of the pure white river. Well, for those that come into our domain, I give you a choice now. A boon from us to you. For a price, of course. But now that you've come, look into the waters and you might see. You might see something of far-off places, of your past, of your future. This is a gift we give to you. I wonder, will you take it, and will you pay the price?
What is the price exactly? I've already paid quite a few. What's a few more?
What is a few more indeed? There is a place where we cannot go. We cannot reach it. But you, I believe that you might. It is outside Brooklyn. This is not a particularly dangerous journey for one such with your skills that I can feel about and my waters tell me. You are only to bring something back to us. Something we cherish that has been stolen.
And what is that?
Look and see first. She waves towards the water.
Ayla turns her head and she makes her way to the waters and she kneels down, getting onto her knees and her hands, and she looks down, staring into the rippling waters.
You look down into the waters and you see your reflection. At first it's as any reflection that you've seen in water or glass or silver. But after a moment you notice there's changes. You see your skin darkening, you becoming similar to what Elyon was in his last moments. You can only think it is a corrupted version of yourself. It might give you pause, but will you look deeper and see what there is to see? And you can choose to see pretty much anything you want from the past, from the future, presently.
Ayla stares down at her skin with blackened cracks and crevices appearing. She's bare. The skin she can see. And she touches where it forms hesitation. She continues to look deeper, and she is... She knows she needs help in what's to come. There's a few that she knows how to track, how to view. There's a few that she does not. She's going to look down, see if she can see at any point if she might meet back up with Dryden, the Witcher, or Rothmyr, the thief.
You are looking in the river, and for whatever reason you find it difficult to look upon Dryden. But Rothmyr you see quite clearly first, and when you do see his outline of his cloaked and caped figure, the very, very faint image of Dryden disappears, and you see Rothmyr standing in front of a door looking slightly dumbfounded. As he's in front of a tavern, you see him scratch his chin, look around in confusion of how he got there. You see the sign on the tavern say, "The Crossroads Tavern." And in your mind, you've never heard of this place or been there clearly, but even that you know where it is. It is in Cintra, the province of Nilfgaard. South of here, many days travel. You get a feeling of foreboding as he steps inside. And suddenly the water shimmers below you and fades.
And Ayla, knowing where it is in Cintra, or at least that it is in Cintra, she knows that it is a few days away, at least by foot. But most likely, assuming she's been to Cintra over her years, and might be able to find him quicker.
Yeah, you're fairly sure that you have enough information to teleport to that spot if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. She keeps that in the back of her mind, knowing what she needs from him. A few things. And she'll look upon Sir Carthus. There's curiosity, a concern for him, mostly for the boy, Endry.
Yeah, as you try to look at anyone else, it appears the magics have faded, and Morian says, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
Ayla gets up and turns to Morian. I did. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, now we have granted you a boon. It is your obligation to gift us with a boon. You do not refuse.
Of course not. I would be glad to return something lost to you.
Wonderful. Maureen is walking around in a slight circle around you, smiling. Not all dryads are born dryads, she says. Some are children taken or given into the care of our sisters. One such as I. And as she says that, it doesn't surprise you as she looks slightly different from the other dryads. Far less wood-like, far less tree-like. Almost an elf. Not quite, but very close. There is one that was promised to us long ago, but not given over. We require her to return to us.
And where can I find this girl?
She smiles faintly. Well, it is in a place not so far from here. Not so far at all. In the land of Brugg. And you know Brugg is a kingdom. I'll just swing over to the map so you can see exactly where it is. So Brugg, if you look on the map, is... Oh boy. Zoom in. So, do you see... Here.
Ah, I see it.
Yeah. And you are, like, here-ish.
Ah, okay.
Let me get you back over there. The child is in Brugg. My screen go? One sec, sorry. Am I on the wrong? Oh,
I found it.
Okay.
And what does the child look like? What is her name?
What is her name? Sisters? And they look at each other and they seem to be contemplating what the child's name is for a moment while I look it up. Give me a sec.
Glorious.
Her name is Octavia. Octavia von Verkes. She must be... They look at each other now. Oh, in her 20s. As I say, she was taken from us long ago. Promised by her father.
20s. And she...
What did she look like? Sisters? They look at each other. One, like, frowns and looks disgusted. Hair of fire. And Maury nods. Hair of fire. Her father was Valdemar von Verkes, a baron. Brother to the king. She was promised to us.
I see. Exchange for visions you gave me, you want the child. Or the woman, I should say.
No, not exactly. We have foreseen in our waters. She may become with child. Either her or her child. Bring them back. Both, if you will. Yes, both, the one with the fiery eyes says.
I'll do my best to bring them both back.
And they nod. You must find her. She may not be in that land now, but this will lead you to her. And Maureen comes over, and there's a simple vine necklace, it appears. It is roped and tied together in the back, and she simply hands it over to you.
Ayla takes into her hands, passing it between them before putting it on. And I will feel her if I am near.
It will do more than that. It will guide your steps, tell you where to go. They smile as you put it on. And it will bind you to this task. You realize after you put it on that even if you get this feeling that it might be very difficult to take it off. You have this feeling of weight around your neck.
She looks down to the necklace and back up to the giant. Well, this is not the only task that I am bound to do, but this task I shall do first.
They smile. We are in no hurry. It has been many years now. Bring her to us now or later, but bring her back. We will know if your decision alters and you wish to not fulfill this pledge, and that would be a mistake.
I shall complete your task then. Is there anything else that you can give me information to aid me in this task?
No, we may not leave Brooklyn. This is what we have for you. The necklace will guide your path.
Ayla nods and bows to the three giants. Well, if that be all, I'll be on my leave.
One of them leans in to Maureen and says something, and Maureen just says something back and then turns to you and nods. Yes, that is fine. We will be here. Use your magics to return when you see fit and you have the girls.
Unfortunately, I'll have to come by foot. Magics only allow me to transport myself.
Come to the edge of Brooklyn, where the town of Hardur meets the forest, and we will escort you.
Aye. And Ayla nods, and she will make her way down the steps, away from the dryads. And as she walks, she will summon up the energies, muttering in elder speech, summoning up another portal. And she will think of the place that Rothmyr is. Actually, no. She will go and see if she can find the girl first. At least get a glimpse of her. Know what she looks like. She'll head to the town she's in.
Yeah, you're unsure where that is. The necklace will guide you, but
Ah,
you don't actually know where she is currently. You have no idea.
alright. I think they said later too. So I think the
They
most
did.
logical thing, yeah, is to go to Rothmyr.
You think of Rothmyr and you see him enter the building, and he disappears as he rounds the corner, and just as that time you walk into the portal. And let's take a break.
Fully.
Alright, so this is back to episode 1 of season 2. This is the second part, and we're going to start off with Rothmyr and Sorsha. Let me... Rothmyr felt nauseated as he passed through whatever it was. He did not understand the ways of wizards, but had now experienced their magic firsthand. His eyes blinked, looking at the building before him. Did he know this place? Wait, was this the Crossroads Tavern? So close to home, only a mile. Confusion clouded his brain like a fog, at least for a moment. He wondered what day it was. Had he traveled through distance and time? Everything looked the same, he thought, but it had been 6 months or more since he had been home. Rothmyr heard voices inside. He heard laughter. He heard singing and arguing and catcalling. Nothing seems to have changed. Or did it? Rothmyr, you stand outside the tavern. Your mind is adjusting to whatever happened. You're a bit confused about where you had gone, but this was close to your father's home, less than a mile. It was on a road in Cintra, fairly well traveled, and many came to this place to grab a pint, a flagon of ale, a glass of wine, a rack of lamb. It had been 6 months since you had been here, at least, but you feel at home. You feel that this is exactly where you need to be. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, and just so just to make sure, because I spent a lot of the coins that I had gotten. Would I have any of that gear, or?
You have that gear, yes.
Okay.
Or actually, you don't have it quite yet, we'll say, because you need to, this is the first moment afterwards, so you will spend it soon.
Okay, cool. All right, so there's some things that I have not gathered yet.
Just based on the timing of it all, so.
Right. He makes sure his hood is pulled low over his face, and disoriented, he stumbles a bit and catches his bearings before he focuses on the door and the laughter inside the tavern. And then slowly he begins to walk up the steps and wipes off his jerkin and makes sure he looks somewhat presentable before he makes his way inside.
Inside you see some familiar faces and some maybe not. The last time you had been here, you do notice the son of the proprietor, Shiv, behind the bar pouring drinks. There's a young man at the bar drinking who you also recognize as Ben, just a local here. And your eyes do catch someone that you are surprised to see. Sorsha. Sorsha, what are you doing at the bar?
Sorsha sits on a stool. She's wearing quality leathers that have been well worn in. She's a tall woman with braided strawberry blonde hair. She kind of fidgets with the end of the braid between sips of ale. A steel spear is leaned against the bar, and she occasionally reaches out unconsciously to touch it and reassure herself that it just hasn't grown legs and walked away. She is looking to Ben as he says something to her, and she just gives a little quiet laugh, small smile.
Yeah, Ben is telling fairly bad jokes. He hears the creak of the floorboards and turns over his shoulder and sees Rothmyr enter. He says aloud, "Oh, Rothmyr! Well, I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been?"
Sorsha drops her mug the last couple of inches to the bar with a clatter and splashing the ale on the bar. She looks over Ben, stands up a bit, looks around him. She stands there for a minute, not knowing what to say.
Rothmyr immediately fuck under his breath, looks over towards Ben, and noticing that he's easily spotted. But as he looks past Ben and sees Sorsha, his eyes get a little wider and his demeanor shifts. He starts to move a little faster across the floorboards towards the bar area. And then a smile starts to appear on his face as he just keeps his eyes on her.
Sorsha starts to smile back, and then her face kind of clouds over a bit. There's a whole flurry of emotions that pass over her face as he's getting closer. She settles for a practiced blankness.
And Rothmyr takes notice of it and then shifts his gaze towards Shiv and nods towards him. Shiv.
Rothmyr, haven't seen you in a while, has been proclaimed there so loudly. Gonna get you a pint?
Aye. And a drink for whatever they're having. He puts a few coins on the table and starts to move towards their direction and nods. Ben, how have you been?
Oh, fairly well. I've been drinking my fill, or trying to. Good to see you there, Rothmyr. Excuse me, I've got to go take a piss. And he looks at Sorsha and looks at Rothmyr, stands up and winds around and heads outside.
And Rothmyr kind of slows his gait and a kind of ashamed look almost appears on his face as he comes over to stand next to Sorsha. And then he's able to manage a smile back to her. I didn't think to see you again so soon, I guess.
Oh, well, sorry to disappoint. This is rather the only place around here to drink.
My travels had taken me elsewhere but it seems fate has brought me back here.
What has brought you back here? You left in such a hurry. It must have been awfully important.
A contract. But a contract is what took me away. You can tell he's definitely hiding something, though, and he says, but I'm not sure what brought me back.
Oh, well. I certainly wouldn't know what could possibly draw you here. But a contract, you say? A contract you made in the middle of the night while I was sleeping?
That same ashamed look appears as he looks down for a minute and towards Shev to see if his drink has been ready yet.
Yeah, Shev pushes the tankard over to you and nods and looks between you with a kind of like, I'm going to excuse myself, I don't want to be in a part of this type of way, and kind of heads to the other side of the bar.
And he takes the drink and slumps down in the stool near her. I apologize for running out on you like that.
Look, I accept your apology. It's just... I thought we had at least mutual respect enough that... I mean, did you think that I would cause a fuss if you said goodbye? I mean, I know that the night before things had... Well, they seemed a bit different, but I wasn't expecting a marriage proposal or anything. I mean, if you needed to leave, then I think a goodbye would have been the least I was owed.
And he lets it sink in for a minute as he looks down towards his drink and takes a sip. Well, I just didn't want you to get hurt, you know.
Oh, get hurt. As in, someone left without a proper goodbye or fare thee well. That's not hurtful at all. I think maybe what you mean is you didn't want to see me while I was hurt.
No, that's not it at all. The work I was going to do was very dangerous.
Oh yes, the mysterious contract you took while I was asleep. How did that go? Did you finish your job?
I did. Made quite a bit of coin.
Well, that's wonderful. That's what really matters, is coin. Coin buys you everything, doesn't it? So now you're back. I can't really imagine. Oh, perhaps you're here to check on your father.
Maybe I don't think that is why I'm here, but perhaps I'll go see the old fucker.
Well, I do have some news about that.
What?
Well, even when you were around, I mean, there's always been the Nilf soldiers, but the occupation has gotten a bit more pronounced. The soldiers are basically taking over whatever household suits their fancy, and there are several soldiers staying with your father.
And Rothmyr's eyes get very wide at that, and he stands up at the mention of it. Staying with my father?
Not that I think he has much to say about it.
They're fucking taking residence there. They moved themselves in.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's sleeping in the yard with the pigs. Personally, I'd rather. But yes, I thought if I saw you again that that wouldn't be good news.
You can tell he's definitely angered by it, and his eyes squint, and but he seems to relax a bit at the thought of it. And I suppose he just laid down and let them move in. Didn't cause a fuss or a ruckus at all.
I wasn't there to see, but he's an old man, Rothmyr. What do you expect him to do?
As you're talking, this man comes up behind you, Rothmyr. You've never seen him before. You catch him as he's approaching. Sir, I am named Peter, and I heard that you say that you completed a wonderful job. I did not mean to overhear. I was just waiting for a tankard. I have the best wires in Cintra, sir. If you're looking for weapons, armor, anything of a sort, I know just the blacksmith and I can introduce you to him.
Fuck off. And Rothmyr kind of like just throws him a look over his shoulder.
He frowns. Well, you won't get very far in that shabby clothes, sir. And he turns around and kind of saunters back over here and sits down.
And Sorsha has kind of a half smile on her face that she's trying to cover.
I just figured he'd stand up for himself for once.
Perhaps he did. Perhaps they knocked him down enough times that it stuck, but I know that he's certainly not able to take them on his own, and even if he did, the whole town's crawling with them.
I need to go visit him.
Don't do anything rash. I'll go with you.
And he seems kind of surprised by it. Raises an eyebrow. I would like that.
People are used to seeing me, so they won't take much notice of you being here.
And then he looks kind of at his clothes, and he's been in the wilderness for some time, and maybe the fat man's right. Maybe I should get some new garb.
Sorsha leans over and she gives kind of a sniff in his direction. Yeah, I'd say those are a little past the date to wash. You must have been on the road quite a bit.
I wonder if they have a bath here.
I think they've got a tub. Hey, Chev,
Yes, Sarsha.
is there any place for Rothmyr to clean up around here?
Yes, there's the baths out there. He kind of waves. That's going to be 5 coppers, though.
Aye, no problem, chef. And
Right?
He'll take the coins out and look over to the other man who approached him as well,
and a drink for that one there.
For Pieter, if you wish. He looks at the barmaid and pours a draught and puts it on her tray.
and you can tell Cersei, like, he's being a little crazy with his coins. You can tell it's got a pretty heavy sack of coins than what he's usually accustomed to.
Well, apparently you have done well for yourself. I have to say, jobs have been slim pickings around here. Rapists, common bandits, and murderers. I don't know where they've all gotten off to. It seems that all that's left are good Cintrans who have crossed the Nilfs, either accidentally or deliberately, and I'm more like to help such folk make good their escape than track them down for any amount of coin.
And perhaps that's why I've come back here, for us to resume our work.
She gives him a look with her eyebrows raised. Well, I can't imagine that our work was so important to destiny that it would drag you back here. But do you want to clean up before we head to your father's, or after?
Yes, I should do that.
And Rothmyr gets up. And he will actually stop by Peter over here.
Yeah, he's sitting there drinking the ale that you had gotten him. He nods and raises it. Oh, thank you, sir, for the ale.
Aye. Perhaps it would be good that I meet your friend for some weapons and armor. I could use them.
Oh, splendid. He's just down the road there. Whenever you'd like to go greet him, I can, put in a good word for you. Maybe get you a discount from old Piter.
A discount would be expected, of course.
Well, of course. For a man of your, success. I'm Piter, by the way.
Rothmyr.
Rothmyr. Are you from these parts?
Aye.
Oh, got a home nearby?
And he kind of narrows his eyes as he says that, and he says,
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, anyway, just take your time. I've got this fresh ale to drink, thanks to you. And I'll take you over whenever you're ready, sir.
and he nods to him, and then turns back to Sorsha.
Well, I'll see you in a minute then.
I'll be here. Probably, she says, turning back to her drink.
And he smirks and walks past towards the bath.
And as you approach the door, Rothmyr, another figure comes through wearing a large hood, and she looks up and looks to you, giving you a smile as you come towards. Well, meet again.
His eyes do go wide at that as he notices her.
It takes a minute for Sorsha to figure out that Ayla's talking to Rothmyr. And as she does, her eyes go wide and she looks at Rothmyr and then to Ayla and then to Rothmyr and then to Ayla, and her lips purse into a straight line.
Ayla, at this point, she looks. Rothmyr, you recognize it, but she looks incredibly beautiful. It's flawless, very fair. She still has the hood on as she continues to saunter around the bar and head towards Rothmyr. We parted on a fairly precarious situation. Oh, my apologies. Ayla, Rothmyr.
Sorsha of Cintra. So, were you part of the contract that paid so handsomely?
She was. I worked for her, actually.
Ah, I see. It all starts to make sense. Yes, this was obviously a very important contract indeed. Well, I hope you found his services more than adequate. He's always seemed a competent sort to me.
Unfortunately, I think I might have overpaid you a bit there, Rothmyr, for your services, but fortunately, I have another quite hefty contract for you, if you'll take me up on it.
He kind of backpedals a bit, trying not to be so overly accepting of it now, and you can tell he catches the tone and Source's voice, and he looks to you and he kind of brushes a hand on her shoulder and says, "It wasn't any work like that."
Oh no, I don't imagine she'd hire you for that. But I can understand why you were so eager to go. You must have spent quite a lot of time together. I'm sure you got to know each other quite well. It must be very nice to see her again.
Ayla actually approaches Rothmyr and places a hand on his cheek. Aye, it was quite an adventure, wasn't it, Rothmyr?
It was. How is your betrothed?
My fiance. Aye, he's dead.
Dead.
Aye.
What happened?
She looks down to Sorsha and looks back up to Roth. Unfortunately, that bit's part of the contract. Can't really divulge most of it.
Sorcha isn't looking at either one of them. She's staring at the wall, blinking rapidly. She doesn't appear to hear Ayla or understand what she said for a minute until the words kind of sink in the back of her mind. Oh, certainly. Pull up a stool.
And Ayla sits down, looks to Rothmyr. If you'd be so kind, since you kind of have a majority of my coin there, Rothmyr, to hurry it up a little.
Of course. And
Yeah.
does he notice anything different about her?
Not currently, no. She has a glamour on, so she's just looking... she looks very similar to
Fine.
how she looked when she went in the tavern the last time. Extremely, extremely radiantly beautiful. Everybody in the bar, you notice, is just staring at her, kind of mouth agape. But as you kind of walk into this hallway, can you give me a roll? I would like a groom and style roll. That's empathy.
From who?
Rothmyr.
Oh.
Yeah, you see a man walking this way in front of you. He looks at you and kind of gives you a slight scowl. He walks down to this room, opens the door, and cuts in real quick. And you walk over to the baths, which are over here somewhere, as the two ladies continue to speak.
Ayla looks to Sorcha. She doesn't look to the barkeep. She pulls up 2 fingers and motions towards her. And she just continues to admire Sorcha, looking over. I will say you have nothing to fear there, girl. Rothmyr's a bit young for my tastes.
Sorcha looks at her, surprised. Oh, you prefer older men?
Usually I prefer elves, but dwarves will do in a pinch.
Sorcha's obviously a little shocked at that. Oh my. I do run across elves from time to time in the forest. Give them the... I suppose we give each other quite a bit of space. They're quite good at foresty things, but I don't run into too many in town, so if that's to your taste, there's not many around here.
Foresty things, you think that's all elves are good for?
She shrugs.
You know, they built quite a great many of the buildings here on the continent. Not just foresty things.
I've run into some ruins in the forest that I heard were elven built. Things so old that to stand that test of time, they must have been well built indeed. I simply don't have any experience with elves other than occasionally a passing glance or hello or which way did the deer go. Around here, mostly people don't like them. But I will say this, with the nymphs here, the heat's gone off the elves a bit.
Ayla kind of leans in, scooting closer. Well, if you'd like some experience with elves, I could give you a taste.
What do you mean?
Ayla just smiles and looks back to the barkeep. Could you pass over a pint there, bartender?
Yes, of course. He goes and fills one up and then walks towards you and sits the pint down. For you, ma'am, on the house.
And Ayla gives him a. You sure know how to treat a lady in this part.
Well, ma'am, I haven't seen a lady quite like you in some time, if ever.
There aren't very many ladies like me. What's your name?
My name is Shiv, madam.
Nice to meet you, Chef.
Nice to meet you. What is your name?
Ayla.
Ayla. Very well. Well, I will let you ladies continue your chat.
Ayla nods and takes a drink of her mead and looks back to Sor.
Sorsha's looking at her with fascination, noticing how all the eyes in the room turn to her. Are you traveling alone?
Well, I wasn't before. I was traveling with Rothmyr and a woman named Devnit and a dwarven bard and also a whore named Zavis.
You were traveling with a whore and a dwarf?
Aye, but it'd be the same person.
She laughs, just like you catch her by surprise, and she starts to kind of guffaw. Oh, that's a good one. But some of those names do sound a little familiar. But really, a woman, especially someone like you who gathers so much attention, it's really not safe. Soldiers around here are likely to, well, they take what they please.
I have learned to be able to fend for myself in quite a short amount of time. I don't think I'll be having any worries with any guards or any bandits or anything of the like on the road, but I'm not planning on going alone much longer. That's why I'm here for Rothmyr.
Aye. Well, from the looks of it, you won't have much trouble getting him. She frowns again and looks away.
I told you I'm not interested in Rothmyr.
It's not your interest that concerns me.
Rothmyr, in the back, you've jumped in the tub and splashed around a bit, but it doesn't take you long if you're wanting to do it quickly and come back out.
Yeah, definitely. He's cleaning up quickly and wanting to get back out there.
Yeah, you can. You walk back in. You see the two chatting.
He does do a quick once over in the mirror and make sure he looking suitable at all, and rushes back out. Slows down before he gets to the door, though. Stands in the doorway and see how much damage has been done, listening to them for a moment to catch up on what they're talking about. Are you still here?
She looks over at him, looking just like her mouth drops open a little bit. She stands up and picks up her spear. Well, if that's the way you want it. She wheels around and walks away.
No, not you, Sorsha.
Ayla frowns to Roth. I'm still here, and I'll be here until we discuss things.
Oh, something bothers me. He kind of plumps down in the seat. You mentioned your money. It's mine now. Isn't that right?
I gave it to you, Rothmyr, because I thought I was gonna die in that tower.
So now you want it back.
No, I'm not saying I want it back. I'm saying I'll let you keep it. And you'll have much more if you decide to venture with me again.
Something's different about you. And he kind of squints his eyes.
I am not as much of a... what's a good term for it? Pushover as before. I'm free from the chains of, well, being betrothed.
Ah, you seem very confident. That's a good thing, though.
It has to be. It's the way now.
And much more radiant, and he kind of looks towards Sorsha. I mean, you bring much attention to yourself that way, of course.
Well, I've been suppressing most of it after all these years of... Well, since I'm free now, might as well flaunt it.
Aye.
That way comes trouble. I don't understand inviting it. But, you'll have plenty of time to catch up, I suppose, on your job. Would you still like to go check on your father before you take off?
I do. If there's time.
Of course.
What is this job? Can you speak of it now? Or would you like to go somewhere more private? With both of us? And he nods to Sorsha.
More private would be lovely. Maybe on the way.
She was my traveling companion before
I was.
Aye.
Yes. Obviously, Rothmyr's been moving up in the world in all sorts of ways. At any rate, I'll lead the way. And Sorsha, again, kind of hefts her spear up and leads the way to the door.
Rothmyr, we can say that you stopped by the blacksmith on the way, kind of just along the way, and refit yourself.
Okay.
Just kind of hand wave that. We don't need to go. We don't need to go shopping, if you will.
Yeah. I spent a lot of that coin. Too.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's like, well, she might take it
no.
back. I better spend it all real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh shit! Yeah. That totally makes sense now.
Does Sorsha know this Piter guy?
No, and Piter is not there to lead you there. You knew the blacksmith, and
Yeah.
the blacksmith is just like you might ask about Piter. He just kind of yeah, I know Piter, whatever. No, but this, yeah, there doesn't seem like any reason why he'd be like chumming up to you exactly, but yeah, you don't see him. You're not sure where he is. But you can head on down to Dad's house if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Why don't you guys just give me some role play while I do some couple things in the background.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe like
Talk about what's going on.
yeah, like the job perhaps. Or...
As they leave, they're walking down the road. Ayla looks to Sorsha. I don't know if Rothmyr's moving up so much in the world or fall into the lap of some dangerous characters. Did he tell you where we found him? Or where
No.
Hmm?
He'd only been here for a few minutes before you showed up.
I found him in a tavern, really. Not really a surprise. Why don't you tell your companion where you were before that, unless it's too difficult for you?
I was in prison.
Prison? How did that happen?
This foul necromancer and his goons dragged me off there. There must have been 20 or so.
Sorsha looks at Ayla with her eyebrows furrowed as if she's a little skeptical about a story about a necromancer dragging Rothmyr. That's... Whatever would a necromancer want with you?
Well, I had a contract. And then he thinks about it for a minute, trying to go over his head the lies that he's been telling people on and off, which lie that he's told Ayla. And he says, they caught me in their lands. Anyway, the details do not matter, but I ended up there, and then I escaped, and she found me in a tavern. I knew the way back into that place, the right path to take. And it just so happened fate brought us together as well.
And she looks between the two of them again, kind of sadly. Well, I'm glad you're not in prison any longer. That's one thing I could never stand.
He kind of offers her a small smile. And, well, I'm glad the fates have brought me back in your company.
You keep saying the fates, but she looks down at him. Don't you mean your feet?
Well, no. Some strange magic I can't really explain. Perhaps Ayla knows a bit more about that. Some kind of portal that was in her betrothed tower.
If you give me about a moment before we get to your father's domicile, I must do something very quickly. And she kind of departs from the path, and she heads behind one of the trees, and gonna use glamour again, but to shave off those ears and round out the face a bit more to be more human.
Right.
Since we're probably going to come in contact with some soldiers.
What's the stamina on that one?
Not a lot.
Minus whatever your
That's-
focus is.
I forget what the dagger is.
I think it's 3, isn't
three.
it? Yeah. So what?
And the stamina cost us 2, so it's 1.
Okay. I will take care of that in a second. Yeah, she disappears for a moment, and then Sorsha, when you see her come back, she looks fairly different. Definitely not like an elf. You can.
Oh,
you
she
can-
didn't look like an elf before, did she?
She had her hood up, so
Yeah.
she was hiding.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But more rounded out face, basically, than before. And she puts down the hood now.
I think Rothmyr would tell her before, like as she departed, like Rothmyr would like takes her hand, Sorsha's hand for a moment, in one of his, and says, "She's some kind of magic user. This one."
Oh. Well, that explains her lack of fear, I suppose. And she looks down at the hand Rothmyr's holding and looks up at him with like a question in her expression.
And then he drops it as he notices and that he's holding it and says to them, she acted quite different before. She was afraid of everything. She has changed.
Sorsha cocks her head. Well, sometimes our experiences make us stronger, I suppose. I'm glad for her, and she just shrugs. Did you get to
And
be very good friends?
As she asks that, he looks over towards Ayla as she's, I guess, coming around the corner or whatever. He says, no. No, not at all. She merely paid me.
Ah, I forgot. It's all business with you. She smiles a little. It's easy for me to forget that. And she turns and looks at Ayla and does kind of a double take. Despite Rothmyr's warning of her being a magic user, she looks like maybe the little sister of who Ayla was before, or... Is that really you?
The hair's much more crimped, cheeks fuller, slightly red. And she tucks her hair behind her ear and nods. Aye, it's me. And elves are best at more than just forest things there, sort.
Oh, and she kind of looks from side, just like trying to catch a glimpse of Ayla's ears.
They're fully rounded out.
So I suppose you're an elf, and this is some sort of disguise magic.
Aye. Oh, one thing, Rothmyr. And Ayla quickly approaches Rothmyr and she puts a hand by the side of his face in his hood and rips out a chunk of hair from his head. I need this.
Aye.
Sorsha kind of whips around with a, kind of a at-the-ready glance and bares her teeth a little bit. What are you doing?
In case we're separated again. You know how Carnifax found us before.
Rothmyr thinks about it for a minute, kind of shocked by it at first, and then he looks a little bit more relieved, and he says, "Aye."
Well, interesting way of doing things you have, Miss Ayla.
Well, this is something I'm experimenting with, and find it's just easier to take than to ask nowadays.
Well, you and the Nilfs have that in common.
Well, me and the rest of you humans have that in common, isn't that right?
Sorsha shrugs. I don't believe I've ever taken anything from anyone that I didn't pay for.
The Scoia'tael would disagree.
I've heard of them. Roving bands of murderers who prey on innocent travelers on roads. She shakes her head. I don't know how you can speak of them with sympathy.
I speak of them with understanding, being alive as long as I have.
It
But
makes you bloodthirsty.
no. But besides that, she looks to Rothmyr. The job involves Carnifax again. You know he won't stop, right?
He raises both eyebrows at that, and he says, "Oh, I had planned on meeting him again one day anyway."
You
It,
can meet him again with me. And she looks to Sorsha.
is this that necromancer that you spoke of?
Oh, hi.
He's still... well, that sounds rather dangerous. Is this house located? It looks very kind of off the beaten track, Tet. Is that correct?
Yeah, you'd be following a small trail off the main road, and then there's it's basically on the banks of a small river, and then there's a small stone bridge that heads across to Rothmyr's father's house.
Can I make like a wilderness survival check to see if she can spear a grouse or something on the way there? She wants an excuse to be at the house and maybe selling some fresh.
Yeah, you can do it. You can just do it. It's fine.
All right. So yeah, along the way, Sorsha's eyes are kind of flicking from left to right to in front of her, and at one point, you may or may not hear the rustling in the bushes, and she stabs down at a point about 4 to 5 feet away and brings her spear back with a fat pheasant or grouse on it. And she looks at it with some satisfaction. As much as I'd like to eat you, I think you might have to serve as a little prop for us. We can say we were bringing some fresh game or selling it. It depends on who answers the door. I really don't know the state of things.
Not a bad idea.
Of course, if your father sees you, he'll surely say something. She shrugs, but I don't know what I can do about that.
Perhaps I should maybe sneak around back and see who's here. To the windows.
Would you rather I waited, or do you want me to knock on the door myself? She suddenly seems a little nervous. And she looks back at... Well, Ayla will be with me, I suppose, and she's a powerful sorceress. Is that right?
She looks to Rothmyr. You know, I shouldn't be spoiling too many secrets yourself there, Rothmyr.
He smiles. She's powerful. Just wait here for a moment.
Can he slink off and kind of check real quick before coming back?
Yeah, you can. Let me, this might be better if we switched over here.
Like, not too far or anything, just like if they were chilling on the bridge or something right there, and then he just runs around the house, kind of sneaks around.
Yeah, you'll have to, you'd have to cross the bridge, then head around the house, but this is kind of the front of the house. This is the front door about there, so... Or actually right here, sorry.
And is this the house that I grew up in?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so he's going to know where
the
windows are
and
such. So. Yeah, if there's a window over here, he'll sneak around. Just kind of check in, peer in, see if he can make a note of who's in there, if there's any soldiers in there at the moment.
Yeah, go ahead and give me like a stealth roll. Yeah, you get up there and you're able to peek in. This is a window. This is a door over here. You actually peek in and you see what you see. Inside there are a few men like lingering about, sitting in chairs. You see one drinking from a flagon. You do see your father. He's at the table closest to you, reading a book.
When Rothmyr peeks in and he sees his dad, his eyes kind of narrow. Some of the memories flush over. He's not very happy with his father. Kind of angry with the way he didn't really do anything to help save his mother. He blames him somewhat that the Nilfgaardian soldiers hung and raped his mother, but there's nothing really he could have done. He'd have just gotten killed, but that doesn't stop Rothmyr from hating him for it. So he starts to sneak back over there.
Yeah, I misspoke. This is the front door down here, but that's fine. Yeah. So you're kind of on the side of the house.
And he makes his way back up to them. Eyes here. There are. Looks to be about 3 soldiers in there with him.
At that, Sorsha looks somewhat relieved. Well, at least it's only 3. How did your father look?
He seemed quite friendly with them. He was sitting there reading. What do they want with him?
Sorsha shrugs. They're just occupying all sorts of houses around here. Mostly people don't get a choice, and I don't think they're being compensated, but I suppose it's possible that your father has some sort of an arrangement. Then again, maybe he's just making the best of a bad situation.
You can see Rothmyr's just gritting his teeth and
Do you want to stop in?
I suppose so.
All right. I'll go with you. I don't trust anyone alone with those men.
He nods and he offers her a small smile and then looks towards Ayla. Are you going to come with us?
If you'd like me to.
Aye. I suppose that'd be nice.
Right then, lead the way.
Say hello to the old fucker.
Well, you know you are meant to be here, Rothmyr.
And he looks over at her, kind of worried at the mention of that. Aye, but was it for this?
What else could it be?
You? And she looks to Sorsha.
Sorsha looks at her and kind of, you can see her eyes spark with a little bit of hope, but she quickly quashes it and says, "That's ridiculous." Well, unless Rothmyr needs help with some sort of professional endeavor, I suppose.
Maybe.
Rothmyr looks as if he's about to say something, but the sounds inside kind of stop him, and he shifts back towards the door and raises his hand to knock on it, pausing for just a moment as if he might not wish to, and then raps on it really loudly.
As you rap on it, it does not take long for the door to be pulled open. You see the face of your father, aged seemingly significantly since the last time you had seen him, which was probably 6 months ago whenever you left this area. He blinks, looking quite surprised. Rolf, is that you?
Rothmyr doesn't really smile at him or anything, but he slowly nods, looks past him for a moment. Aye, father.
Well, oh, who is that behind you there?
These are my companions. This is Sorsha and Ayla.
Do you think Moramir would ever have met Sorsha?
Probably not.
Okay.
Unless they passed in town, I don't think they formally met.
Yeah, they probably maybe met at the bar or something. Oh, 2 lasses with my boy. He kind of touches his stomach. Rothmyr, you notice that he has lost a considerable amount of weight. He used to have a pretty big pot belly, but now he's barely bigger than you. Well, let me, well, see, Rothmyr, I got some guests. I don't know if you heard about our friends needing some boarding, so let me make sure it's okay if you come in.
Friends.
Perhaps we shouldn't disturb them. Perhaps we should speak out here. It's such a lovely day.
Oh, I suppose. And as you're talking, one of the soldiers comes up and says, "Old man, who are these people?" "Oh, that's my boy and his 2 friends." He gives a sidelong look out the door. "2 women. Prostitutes? Bring 'em on in."
No, we're not prostitutes there, sir.
No, not at all.
Would you like to be?
No.
Sorsha comes forward a little and says, "Actually, we were bringing over some fresh game for Rothmyr's father. Perhaps you'd all like to enjoy it while we have a chat."
Fine. Give it to me.
She kind of holds it out, ready to pull her hand back quickly as soon as he grabs.
Yeah, he snatches it and grunts. "Fine, old man. Go speak to them. Don't linger out there too long. Don't need your Cintrans skulking about having clandestine chats, shall we?" And he smacks Moramir on the back hard and kind of stumbles forward out the door.
Oh, he's like, Rothmyr's like fuming, and he's like, "Yeah, go back inside and fuck off."
No, Sorsha reaches out and puts a hand on him. "Rothmyr, is that any way to talk to these fine gentlemen when you just came for a family reunion? It's just the tension. He really needs to make nice with his father. It's been so long. Please, let's all come out here. Get your father out here, Rothmyr, so that you can tell him how much you've missed him. Get him out here."
Go ahead and give me a, Sorsha. Give me a... what would it be? A charisma roll?
I've got charm.
Or persuasion, or charm. You have charisma of 3. I'm looking at it.
I've got charm, though.
Where is that? Is that under empathy as well?
Empathy, yeah.
Yeah, it's charisma.
Oh,
It's charisma.
no, charisma.
Yeah,
Charisma.
charisma's fine. You can do that.
I'm gonna put 2 luck points in here. Is that okay?
Yep, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks and gives Rothmyr the very blank stare, and he's like, "Fine, go out there, Mormir." And oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. He hops out and closes the door behind him. He looks at Rothmyr. He's like, "Are you trying to get stuck? Are you trying to get killed, my only boy, huh?"
What are these fuckers doing here? These fucking cunts in that
Shh!
black armor.
Quiet, 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 would ya? You think they tell me what they're doing here? They came, they told everybody the same. They're going to be boarding people, and they started boarding people. So what do you want me to do, Rothmyr? Fight them with my skills in combat?
You're just gonna lay back and not do anything, just like with Mother. It's the same shite.
Rothmyr, I'm not a fighter. What am I supposed to do when the heavens open a black gate of Nilfgaardians? I can't do anything.
And Rothmyr paces for a minute.
I tell you what I did. If I would have fought those men, not only would they would kill me, but they would have killed you. So you think about that. Because I did nothing, you're alive. If I would have raised my hand to a Nilfgaardian, we'd all be dead.
So, Mother was the only one with any guts.
Rothmyr, you don't think with your head, you think with your heart.
Ha! Sorsha says it and then kind of covers her mouth.
Rothmyr peers over his shoulder at her for a moment, and then looks back to his father and sighs and shrugs. And
Why are they staying? Are they occupying other houses?
Yes, I'd say from how many people, there's thousands in the area, this close north. It's quite peculiar.
And what happened to you? You're not fat anymore.
Well, my rations have been depleted because I'm hosting 4 men. Including...
Oh.
Yes, there's 4 men in there. One's sleeping in my bed.
Sleeping in your bed.
Yes?
you know,
And one's sleeping in your bed.
How often do these men check in with their fellow?
Oh, they're in and out, in and out, in and out.
I see.
Rothmyr looks past his father to Ayla, and
Perhaps you were right. Perhaps this is why I'm here. And he puts a hand on one of his hilts. And, says,
One moment, Rothmyr. And she looks to Mormir. Are they doing anything to you? Are they hurting you at all?
Oh, he scratches his beard. Nothing important, lass. Nothing important. I've caught the back of a man's hand more than just in the last few weeks.
And Sorsha looks at Rothmyr. I know what you're thinking, but these men, when they go missing, it will be noticed, and there will be reprisals. And she says, either against your father, or anyone who knows that you would certainly have to leave town.
Oh, this is foolish. There's 4 trained men in there, soldiers of Nilfgaard, and 2 ladies and my son? Please, your daggers wouldn't even get through their armor, Rothmyr.
Sorsha kind of stamps her spear down. I've got quite a large knife, actually.
and he just kind of narrows his eyes as his father and Says, I've killed many men, Father.
Oh, sure, Rothmyr. Listen, just if you want to stay in town, that's fine, but don't make trouble. You can't stay here. Stay at the inn. If you have any coin, if not, I suggest you go back on your way. You don't want to be mixed up in this.
You look like they've been starving you there, mister.
Like I said, my foodstuffs are mostly, we gotta cut 'em in 5. Me and 4 men. I have to feed 'em and board 'em.
Sir, have you perhaps, and she lowers her voice, heard anything when they converse? Anything about why there are so many here? Are they perhaps mobilizing for something?
Well, I don't know. I try to keep my ears closed when they're about. They don't say much. Mostly talk about the normal things soldiers talk about. Women, drinking, that sort of thing, fighting. But they do seem quite eager to fight, not us. I don't know. That armistice was signed 10 years ago with the North. Should be no fighting. Not with the northern kingdoms, at least. Maybe they're, I don't know, mobilizing for something somewhere else.
Well, I'm sure they'd mobilize closest to where they intended to be. What is the kingdom that's closest to where we are in
Verdun, Berg. Let me switch over to the map just so you get an idea. So, you are, and I'll ping it for you guys. Actually, I have a better map than this for that. You are down here at 11-ish. So you're right in 10 and 11. So just across the river is Verdun and Brugge. From where you are, these are definitely the 2 closest places.
It's just a stone's throw to Verdun and Brugge.
Rothmyr says, he kind of spits on the ground and says, well then, Father, perhaps we should just leave you for your friends.
Well, they're not hardly my friends, Rothmyr, but what are you and 2 women going to do against thousands of Nilfgaardians? Come on.
Rothmyr, she says, perhaps there are people that would care to hear about this. People across the river.
Myrth just takes his hand and rubs his face. Oh dear.
And Rothmyr kind of looks kind of more hopeful at Sorsha, very interested.
As you're talking, one of the doors opens and this same soldier steps out. Myrth, need you to cook this. Get inside, you old fool. And off with you, you dregs. The women can stay. If you change your mind about making some coin.
No, I'm late for my visit to the apothecary. I've got a bit of a itching problem that needs care.
He laughs.
And then he looks at his dad and he says, well, Father, go cook for your friends.
Myrth frowns. I'm coming. He looks through Rothmyr and be safe, son. He goes to turn and the guy just kind of shoves him inside hurriedly. Get in there, old man. And as he stumbles forward and the soldier actually kicks him in the ass and he stumbles and you hear and he falls to the ground.
Oh, Should Rothmyr make a check?
If you would like to,
perhaps?
yeah, sure.
Oh no.
Let's see.
There's willpower, and that's what it
Yep.
is.
Let's see what would make sense. Resist coercion?
Yeah.
Isn't that a thing? Isn't that
It is. It is.
It's,
It's under will. Yeah.
oh.
You're pretty pissed. That's a failure. I'll let you play it how you want, but that's a failure.
Yeah, as he kicks him, Rothmyr's gonna pull out his blades and try to get a sneak attack on him. If he turns around and starts to head back into the house, he's gonna definitely wait.
His back is facing you as he kicked him. I'll let you just do a free attack with no dodge. Well, yeah, I'll probably dodge with a negative, but I'll let you go ahead and attack and see what happens.
All right. Oh, I think I have something for this.
In your
Maybe.
professional skills.
Yeah. I think so. Could be wrong. Careful aim, eye gouge, assassin strike. Okay, it's at skill level 0, but I took that tree, I guess.
If you have 5 in the part in front of it, you can use it. If it's in if you use your combat menu macro, and if it's in there, you can use it.
Okay. Okay, so on the macro, it just has, it doesn't have it here. So I just do dagger.
Let me just
Project
look
Jump
to make sure. But which one are you trying to use?
If I could, I don't know if I could or not.
Okay.
The assassin strike.
No, I don't. It's not in your. It's not on your sheet.
Okay. The Jambaya then.
Oh yes. So the assassin strike, the eye gouge needs to be a 5 to move down there. Yeah, you don't have it.
Okay. So I'll just do the Jambaya, I guess.
Okay.
Extra action? No. Fast strike, strong strike.
Fast.
What would
fast
this
strike.
be? Fast.
Yeah.
Sword goes here. Jambaya. Does it have to be a specific target if he's
No.
trying to jab past his armor?
Oh, no. If you're just swinging. A 22 versus a 10. So just standing there is a 10. I believe. So it would be... Okay, 12. That's going to be a critical. I don't think it's going to get through his armor. But, armor piercing? Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I got the Jambaya.
So that's a complex critical. Let me look real quick. Armor piercing, I think that means...
Half.
Yeah. Bear with me just 1 second. It's been 6 or 7 months. So.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a hot minute, so.
Oh man, come on.
Old foolish Rothmyr.
Yeah,
Oh,
damage
gosh.
resistance. I don't think they have any damage resistance. So what's his armor? It bypasses his armor. Where did it hit? An arm or a leg? No, an arm. Deals half damage, but that's on normal attacks, so bypasses armor. So what we're going to do, so he's criticaled. So he's going to take 7 damage from that. I think it's 7. Roll me a D100. Nope. No bleeding effect. So okay. So he takes 5 damage. Why don't you describe what happens as you kind of come back and slice him across the arm? Actually, let me do this first before we do that. Where is it?
Is that complex?
Yeah, I'm looking for my critical token. Sorry. Where is it? It's going to be tied to a... Yeah, okay. So, go ahead and give me a complex critical roll on that.
Oh.
Ruptured spleen. So he's bleeding now. Okay, give me a sec.
The spleen in his arm.
Well, yeah, we just ignore the hit location. Because criticals aren't... yeah, we just ignore the hit location, it's fine. It's the...
Stab through his arm straight to the
Yeah.
spleen.
It's one of the weird things about combat in this game. Kind of sometimes have to do that. So he's going to make a stun save immediately. So he takes 5 damage. Stun save. So that's a fail. So he's stunned and he's bleeding. Alright, let me see if I can... So bleeding and stunned. Alright, go ahead and let's roll initiative and make sure... How does that look? Yeah.
So Rothmyr's, of course, he's just infuriated. His plan of waiting and doing something more tactical is just destroyed by the guys beating his dad and the way he's treating his father. So he, enraged, he rips the blade out and comes up underneath the guy's arm, I guess, slicing into the guy's arm and catching between the grooves of his armor into his side. He kind of twists the blade and rips it out, just with a growl, all furious.
Yeah, he screams out, "Ah!" And you hear your father, "No!" Okay. Sorsha, you're up.
Alright, so what does stunned mean?
Stunned is the condition. He can't... stunned is he cannot act on his turn. If he is attacked, he immediately is not stunned. So stun, he's standing there. His defense is 10, and you could hit him again and would probably fuck him up. But if anybody is stunned, once they're hit, they're unstunned immediately.
Okay. I think Sorsha would actually try to get Rothmyr out of the house, or give him a chance to. So she's going to use her movement 2, 3 to get in the house. Okay. Like maybe here. And okay, how many was that? 5?
I didn't see.
I think that was 5.
Are you counting that? Are you just doing the squares?
Yeah.
That's fine. We can do it that way.
Oh, yeah, you've got the measuring thing.
Yeah, I had the measuring tool on, but that's fine. That works too. Let's just do that.
Okay. And she'll say, Mormir, out of the house, and she'll,
How much?
Let's
How
see.
many movement do you have left?
she's got 5 total,
Okay, so
so
you're
if she
done
can get
with-
closer to the other guy, she would, but I don't, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, no. I think that's probably as far as she
Okay.
can get. Do either of these guys look like archers?
Yeah, this guy right here, in front of you, there's a bow sitting next to him.
Which one?
This one?
This one? Okay. Well, in that case, she knows that she doesn't want to throw her spear since there's 2 guys. She will throw a dagger and then position her spear to kind of guard Mormir's retreat, and she's going to aim at the archer.
Sure. What? So I would say you're 1, 2, 3 away. So what's the range on your dagger?
I have it on my other character.
Weird.
I don't.
Yeah, it should have a listed range.
Hold on, let me see if it's on the character sheet. I wasn't looking on there.
It's just a dagger. I can look.
Yeah, just a dagger. Oh, I may not even have it like listed for range.
Okay, just give me a second.
Oh no, it says range 36.
36.
That doesn't
No,
sound.
that doesn't sound.
that doesn't sound right.
Hold on.
I think this is gonna be close, but I'm not positive.
Whew, they changed the layout of this new Witcher PDF. It's different, so bear with me. The heck is it? This is vastly different. I didn't realize. Okay.
Okay, I see dagger. Range. Oh, that's under small blades. Oh boy. Thrown weapons. Okay. It is body times 4 meters.
Okay.
So tons.
Yeah, but what's your body?
9.
Okay. So I would say he's in. Where is it? Close range. So target DC is 15.
All right. This uses your throwing skills, and I
Athletics.
think is.
It's athletics.
I think that's Dex.
I'm gonna have to start doing this too.
All right.
It's a
So
hit by 1. So go ahead and do a hit location roll. You can
where
you can
do
roll it
you
off your
find
sheet.
that?
It should be on your combat menu or on your sheet. Yeah, it's off. Just do it off your sheet then, because it would be built in with your. You can just do a dagger. You can just do your dagger roll, too.
Okay.
Yeah, roll up. I meant off your macro, but that's fine. Just do like go into your character sheet, and then
Yeah.
go to I believe it's on the skills. It's on the skills and modifiers on the quick roll button, and just do target location. To the right there.
I see it. Quick roll buttons.
Do you see it?
Under dagger or
No.
Okay.
So go to skill and modifier,
Yeah.
and then on the far right, next to empathy, there's quick roll buttons. And it says target location. Above your improvement points.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Okay, so it's okay, so it's an arm or a leg. So let's see. You did 1 damage. Or I'm sorry, you hit for 1 and then you did 5 damage. So 5 damage.
Do you get your strength added to thrown?
I don't believe so. 5 damage. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. It doesn't. That's just barely all soaked. So yeah, your dagger just swings through the air, end over end, cuts his arm, but bounces off his leather sleeves.
All right, she just kind of reaches out with her hand without looking and kind of pushes Moromir toward the door.
Yeah, on your turn, Moromir he gets up and he just runs and kind of crashes out here. Rothmyr, don't be so foolish, boy, run! And you can spend stamina to act again, Sorsha, if you want. You can't do another ranged attack, but
She's not within 2, is she? This counts as 3 from where she
that would
is,
be 3.
I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. She can't move anymore, so
Right.
I don't think there's really any other. Oh, no, there's no other action she can really.
Okay.
I'm not giving her a bunch of throwing knives. She's not my other character.
Okay. Rothmyr, you're up.
He's gonna call out for Sorsha and stab this guy again, I suppose.
Okay. If you do quick attack this time, you're actually legit going to get 2 attacks. So if you do a strong attack,
Cool.
you get 1. But
And this guy's stunned.
yeah, he's stunned. So you're going against a DC of 10. You can't dodge or anything.
Extra action is still no.
Correct.
Damn it.
Yeah, if you misclick on that thing, it's a pain in the ass. I didn't make that macro, by the way. Oh boy. All right. So that's a headshot that's successful by 13, which I believe is 13 is yeah, that's a difficult critical. So he's going to take 8 damage for that. So let me do that first. And then he is no longer stunned. So that breaks stun out. So now we'll compute the other damage. So 7 damage.
5.
You hit him in the head, right? I'm going to say he's not wearing any head armor right now because that wouldn't make sense.
If successful, your attack deals ×3 damage.
Yeah,
Nice.
so there's no soak. So that would be 21 damage. Okay. Now go ahead and roll your critical.
And that one's difficult.
Yeah, it's a difficult. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Oops. So every round he needs to make a stun save, so I'm going to make a stun save for him right now. He succeeds that one, so he's not stunned. But he is he takes a -2 to int. 2 takes a -2 to reflex and dex. Okay. So go ahead. You get to attack again for quick attack. Oh, he is totally butt fucked. Okay, roll a fumble button. That should, if you click on your token, there should be a fumble button. It's one of the first ones. So if you click on your token, it's the actually it should be in your combat menu.
Okay.
Yeah, crit plus fumble.
Miscellaneous crit, crit fumble.
Okay, so you rolled a 15. He's gonna parry. He doesn't have a sword out. He's just gonna dodge. Yeah. So it's a hit anyway. So go ahead and 4 damage to the left. So that's not gonna do anything. So you rolled a 15. He rolled a. So that is a crit. That's enough to kill him. How does it look?
Yeah, so he goes just wild. He's like, Sorsha! And then runs up, still gritting his teeth, jabs the blade into the guy's face one time, slicing like right under his eye and into his cheek, and then rips it out of the hole and just stabs it into him again, twisting the blade until the guy gurgles on the blood and dies. And that is it for him.
Okay.
Well, he's still got movement if he wants it.
Yeah, you got movement, and then you could actually technically spend another action. Yeah, you can move up to your speed, and then you could spend stamina to act again, potentially.
Alright. He will move about to here.
Okay.
And if I can throw, can I throw one or?
You technically can. You can. Yes, you can throw.
I'll go ahead and try that out.
You are at 15 TN is what you're going for. You want to use your athletics roll. If you don't have a thrown macro portion, just use athletics.
Yeah, he's got some daggers. Alright.
And then you spent 3 stamina to do so, so I'm going to remove that. That's a miss. How does that look?
Yeah, he just comes in, he's almost kind of reaching for Sorsha, like as if he wanted to maybe grab her and pull her out, but instead he's seeing the other Nilfgaardian soldiers. He pulls a dagger quickly from his belt and hurls it, but it ends up slamming into the wall near him and falling to the ground.
Yeah, as you do that, the Nilfgaardian is kind of crouched, and he's going to use his first action to grab his weapon, and he's going to spend stamina to shoot. So he's going to do that, and he's going to shoot at Sorsha.
Can bad guys do that?
Spend stamina?
Oh yeah, they
He
can.
just can't. He
they?
can't
Okay.
quick attack.
Can't quick attack.
Or strong attack, but he can use stamina. Yes.
Okay.
So he couldn't like quick attack for 4 attacks a turn or something like that. Yeah, he couldn't do that. So he's gonna shoot. He is. Yeah, he's close. So it's gonna be a 15.
Oh no.
Sorsha's tough.
Alright, so that's a hit. That's a simple critical. So Whew. So you're bleeding. That's the first thing. So you take 6. Do you have any armor on your left leg?
Yeah, she's got 12 points of armor.
12 points of armor. So that's 4. So you actually only take 2 damage from that. And then.
But it nicks a vein.
Yep. And let's find out what happens. So. Okay. I'll just keep that in mind. So basically, the arrow flies through, and it cuts through your leg all the way, and as it does, it takes a piece of the cloth from your pants and lodges it deep inside your leg.
She gasps and stumbles a bit, putting more of her weight on her good leg, but she holds her ground. We have to take that archer down first.
And it is Ayla's turn after that.
Ayla, seeing Rothmyr lost control, Sorsha had also run in. You say each of these squares are kind of
Just one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. Ayla sighs. She cracks her finger. Let's see if this works. And she is going to use Annualwick and against probably the archer there.
Okay, give me a spell casting roll.
Sure. I think I'm going to put 2 luck into it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm rooting for you.
Whew.
Nice.
Oh my god. So he needs to defend with resist magic.
Oh god. That's not gonna be good.
Oh no.
Can you not dodge arrows?
No, you cannot. That's
No.
That's why it's a flat TN based on your distance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Sorsha's like, take the archer out first.
No.
10.
All right. So she channels her magic through her dagger, and you can hear her chanting in complex ancient language. And should I just roll the 46?
You should have a macro for it in your combat menu.
Oh yes.
It should do everything. It'll probably do your spell casting again, but we can ignore that.
Oh wait, one sec.
Yep. So 10 damage.
And so this goes through armor. It's pretty brutal. Yeah. So exhausting them, 46 damage, can't be blocked by armor or shields. Creates a fatigue which lowers the target's current stamina by 46 as well.
So should we use? I don't know. Do we use the same, or do you want to roll?
I would just use. I'll roll again.
Go ahead and roll again.
Yeah.
I'll change it in your sheet where it rolls it in the box there. But
Oh my god! There you go. 18.
oh man, yikes!
So as Ayla takes out the
He's
dagger,
tired.
and she kind of raises her hand towards the archer, and he stops for a moment, and you see her just well, you can't really see her, but you just see almost as if it's forming outside of his body, being kind of sucked from every orifice, is just the moisture from his body as he slowly kind of starts to wrinkle up. Eventually the water splashes on the ground.
That would finish me. 18.
Yeah.
Take all my stamina.
I'm so weak. I'm so weak.
It was good at finishing people, yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and subtract the 5 stamina from yourself.
I think it's isn't 2?
No, I
because
think
it's
I already have all that
trophies,
worked
or-
in.
Uh,
Unless, I mean, Elowich, let's look and see. Just to make sure I have it all
Yeah.
worked in. I think I do, but...
because it says 5 on the sheet.
And on the sheet, yeah, I think I have the sheet. Yeah, it's normally 8.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I
no
have it all
problem.
worked in. Okay, cool. So, would you like to spend stamina to do anything else?
Well, my vigor is 11, which means I can cast up to 11 points in a.
Mm-hmm. You can.
You know what? Let's do it again. Yeah, she'll cast it again.
Yep, so spend 3 stamina to do that again. So actually you're going to do 8 total.
All right. Let's see.
Hmm.
Oh, it's on my sheet.
Yeah, you can just do the macro and it'll roll everything for you. Yep. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Oh, go ahead and roll me the fumble.
No.
Was it be dex range or reflexes? What kind of?
Oh no,
wait,
the
it's
fumble
critical.
is there's a fumble button. So
I hit the fumble button, but it's doing critical.
it doesn't matter. So it's just no. That's not what I meant.
Oh.
So if you do combat menu, there's a crit plus fumble button. It's
okay.
like a D10 basically. That's all it is, and it subtracts from your roll. There you go. So
10.
12.
Yeah. Still has to
Okay.
roll the,
Yeah, he does. We'll do that first. We'll do that first. Okay, what did you roll? You rolled a 12.
I
So that's a fail, or that's a fail by you, because meat does not beat. Okay, I want you to roll a D100. Don't roll below a 20.
Oh, I did. No.
Okay, I want you to roll a D3. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to hold that in my pocket because I haven't decided how I want that to work exactly. You know what I'm talking about, I think. But
yeah.
But we'll
oh,
just
God.
so you notice the spell just fizzle. Okay. This door in the back, you just notice it get thrown open, and a man with a sword begins to come through. Let me see what his speed is. Speed is only a 5. Bear with me. I don't know if he can get to you, but 14. So he's going to charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's going to come here. He's charging, and he swings his blade at you. Uh, 16. You can dodge or parry, and that costs 1 stamina to do so.
I'm going to spend my other 2 luck, and I'm going to try to instead reposition
Okay.
as my
Yes,
defense,
you can do that.
which is, that's Dex, I think. Yeah, that's, because it's athletics. Where's athletics? Yeah.
It's a dex, I'm pretty sure.
All right. So I can go reposition myself up to half of my movement.
Okay.
So I'm going to actually move myself over here.
All right. And how much stamina does that one cost? That one costs... Defenses. It probably just costs 1. I think all defenses just cost 1. Make sure. Defense. Each action costs 1. Yep, so that just cost you 1 to do that.
Okay. So as he takes a swipe at her, she kind of rolls out of the way and ends up in that.
Yeah, he takes a big overhand chop and you just roll out of the way just at the last moment. Yeah, here comes the other one. He slowly walks forward and he is actually going to yeah, he's just going to attack for now. He's actually going to aim for your head though. Eight.
Alright, she's going to dodge.
Okay.
Is off combat menu.
Yeah, there should be off combat menu, I believe.
Dodge, yeah.
Yep, you're able to dodge. So subtract stamina, and you are up again.
All right, she.
You are bleeding,
Caesar.
so let me do that first. Bleeding. That one. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, go ahead. You can do what you're gonna do. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna make a strong attack on the archer.
Okay.
And she can reach him from where she is.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 2 points of damage for bleeding. Yeah, you can definitely hit the archer from there. Nice roll, roll critical. The crit plus fumble. Roll it again.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so
And when you do a strong attack, it does double damage.
it will do double damage. Yes. 1 second, but it's after the soak.
Crit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 32, 39. He's gonna roll his dodge. Okay, so 39, 29, 23. That's not good for him. Certainly. He is just like barely standing. He's so tired. 23. Let's see what kind of critical that is, because that just might kill him outright. Deadly critical.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That does 10 damage, so he's down to 5. That's with no soak whatsoever. That's a headshot. He doesn't have armor in the head, so times 3 on whatever your damage was. He's dead, yeah. That's a look.
Oh, nice. So Sorsha lunges forward, both hands stabbing toward the archer and catches him right through the eye. She quickly whips the spear back, and she's going to attack the soldier to her right with stamina.
Okay.
That's my girl.
And these guys are wearing armor,
Yeah,
right?
they are.
So I think I'm going to do another strong attack. Ah.
13. He is going to block this one.
Yeah.
Since I just blocked, the critical doesn't matter. So he does block that. Okay, can you spend your stamina? Yeah, he did.
It takes 3 stamina.
So you turn and try to stab him with your spear. You're a little close, and he's able to press his blade on the haft of your spear and avoid it. Rothmyr, you're up.
All right, he's going to... Is it possible for me to come around here?
Yeah, that's only, I think that was only 3.
Do we get some sort of bonus for flanking? I know the more people you gang up on a person, the better.
Let me look.
Strong attack recommended.
Well, I don't know that you're ever... Well...
For you, you should just go for crits.
Yeah, so quick attack, you'll attack more.
Cool. I just did quick.
Let me. I want to see something about that ganging up thing because there's definitely something to that ganging up. Okay, they take -1 penalty for everybody over 1 that they're facing. So.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the crit plus fumble button. Not the GM button, but the. So that is a 35. He's gonna try to block -1. Oh, he fumbled. Okay, so that's go ahead and do the actual critical roll. It's you would be doing the best one, the deadly.
Come on, baby.
Okay. So how does that? Well, let's finish it up here, cause okay. All right. So you did damage of a deadly critical, which is, I believe it's a lot. 10. So it's gonna be 10 damage right off the top. I don't think anything else will get through. Yeah, you did 13 damage. No, that's not going to get through. So the 10 definitely does get through, though.
What about armor piercing?
Armor piercing is only for when they have armor resistances. And that's the way I'm reading it, at least, unless I'm reading it wrong. Let me look. Armor piercing. There are 2 armor piercings level, armor piercing and improved. Armor piercing negates the damage resistance of any armor. Oh, no, it does get through by half, right? So, okay, well, let's see. You hit in the torso. And he has 25. So actually, let's see. So it'd be as if it was 12. So actually, 1 gets through. Because he's so heavily armored.
Alright, so Rothmyr jumps over to the side, kind of knocking a chair to the side as he runs around, try to flank the guy and jabs the blade into his side. He can do one more.
Yeah, you can do one more. I'm gonna.
Well, was that a quick
Yeah,
attack?
that was a quick attack.
You could do like 3 more attacks if you spend stamina.
I don't know that I'll need to, but
Yeah.
I still gotta subtract probably his reflex and yeah, -3 to all those. -3, -3. Those are what's important for now. And he's poisoned. Okay, 26. He's going to try to block again. I can't see how this is going to work, but we'll try it. He did a 16. What was your roll? So it's a 10. Okay, so that's going to be a critical. Oh, go ahead and roll me a D100 while you're at it. Okay, didn't bleed. So 10 is 5 damage, so he takes that immediately for his crits. That puts him at 19. You did 7 damage. That's not enough to get through. Oh no, you did 16. Oh no, you did 17. 7, sorry. Okay, so that one doesn't get through, but you're able to get through to do the critical. How does that second attack look?
Yeah, he rips the blade out of the side of him and comes back and jabs the blade on the other side above his hip.
Yep.
And I can spend 3 stamina, or do I need to yet?
You can. Yeah, this is when you would, because you attack twice. Quick attacks give you 2 attacks.
Okay. Yeah, he'll go ahead and do that.
I'll subtract your stamina. You're down to 9.
Is he armored in the head?
Yeah, he's
or
armored
are they all?
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
20. Blocking again. It's a hit. That's not a critical. The 17 damage, though, is going to be good for... so I said 12. So that's 5 damage. So you're just, like, cutting him up. You got another quick attack. Go ahead. Because you're just, like...
Oh,
yeah,
you
get one more. You're just, like, cutting through this armor with your new blade.
I like this blade.
Yeah, it's helpful.
I saw the armor piercing thing and I was like, yes. I need all that help.
Although I believe we're doing it wrong, though. I don't... Damage resistance.
They might have changed it in the new version. I'm going to look
So
it up.
damage resistance is structure and magical protection from specific damage types. Yeah, it's not stopping power. So we'll just go with it for now. But yeah, that's not what it does. It's actually, say if they had like against slashing, they had extra. They had armor, whatever armor resistance versus slashing or something. But
You can get an ability, and if it lets you get armor piercing, then it will turn your weapon into improved armor piercing, and that's when it takes off.
yeah. So,
Okay.
okay. 6 damage is not going to do anything normally, but let's do his block. Doesn't matter what we're trying to do. He fumbled. So it's a 3 versus a... So it's a 19. That's going to be a critical. 19. Yeah, that's deadly. So go ahead. He takes 10 damage and go ahead and roll on the critical thing. The GM. Oh, God. Okay. So how do you cut off his arm?
Stab, 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 stab. He comes up underneath his arm, trying to get underneath that armor, and in the area where his armpit is, jabs the blade straight up, pops out the top of his arm, and twists the blade and kind of just slices it up.
Yeah, and it's his right arm. Actually, it says, doesn't it? It was left arm. Okay. So you cut off his left arm. He's screaming as he begins to bleed profusely.
That is it for Rothmyr.
That's it. Ayla.
All right, let's drain him of fluids again. Let's do it. We'll go after. I think she'll take steps up, and she'll quickly look over to Morm. Don't worry, I got this.
He looks at you wide-eyed and scared.
She'll, they seem to have that one. So she'll attack the one behind.
Okay. Okay. Resist magic?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah.
So he takes 6 damage.
Mhm.
And then, go ahead and give me that roll.
Another 10 stamina drain.
God, what a
Dang it.
spell this is. So take away 5 stamina from yourself.
Yep. And then I'll spend another 3 stamina, but instead of doing that... actually, you know what? Let's try it again.
Okay.
Call the same guy.
She's like, I've never been able to
Amazing.
hurt anyone before. This feels good.
It's amazing. She is. Yeah, Ayla, she just has this wide smile on her face, being able to just torture these men, and as they're kind of shriveling up, she's slowly just draining the life from them.
Yeah, they seem like they're having a hard time even standing with their armor on them as you just, like, wither them down.
Ooh.
No. 16 damage.
Oh
My
man,
God.
that spell is gonna kill in boss fights. Stealing all their stamina and getting
Oh
rid
my
of it.
god.
He passes
No,
out.
he's at 4. He's
probably.
at 4. But he's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and describe that.
His lips are just chapped, like his face is just slightly sunken in. Just all the liquid, all the moisture from his body is just being sucked and just splashing onto the floor, onto his feet.
Alright, let me see what poison does. Because I know he's going to lose 2 hit points from... He's going to lose 2 from... Just be poison. There we go. Oh, yeah, I think that's combo. Yeah, so this guy, his guts are punctured and his arm is cut off. He tries to reach down to his stomach with his stump, but obviously his arm is gone and he just collapses to the ground dead as he takes 5 damage from the combo of bleeding and poisoned. This last guy is going to try to attack you. Slip attack. No.
Can Rothmyr call him out?
What do you mean?
Like, fuck
Oh
you.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Point the blade at him. Try to get him to attack me.
Oh my god. 9, go ahead and roll your defense.
Is this my dodge?
No, I'm talking to her.
Oh,
He's
okay.
attacking her. Yeah, he misses.
Yeah, he looks down at his dead companions, and I think maybe his hands are shaking as he takes a weak stab at Sorsha.
Yeah, he actually, like, puts his arms... Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! I yield!
Drop your weapon.
He looks at you and says, "What assurances do I have you won't kill me?"
And Rothmyr says, nothing. Drop it or die.
He looks between Sorsha and Rothmyr, and he can barely stand. And he just drops the sword and drops to his knees exhausted as he's been drained of most of the liquid in his body. "Oh, I'm so weak."
As soon as he drops his weapon, Sorsha runs to the back room. She knew that someone was sleeping in the bed. She wants to find that guy.
Yeah, it must have.
Or that.
Yeah, it must have been. It's over here, but yeah, there doesn't. You don't hear anything else. You can open that door. Let me open it for you. There's nobody in there currently.
She runs to the window and looks out the window.
Don't see anybody. But you are bleeding.
Where's your friend? Yeah, she's bleeding all over the floor. With the adrenaline, she has barely noticed it.
Yeah.
Where's the one that was sleeping in the...
Who? I believe when he was saying, he wasn't saying like currently. He was just saying somebody.
Well, he said there were 4.
There were.
I think we
There were
got 4.
Yeah. I've just been deleting them.
Oh,
as you
okay,
killed
we
them.
got
Yeah.
4. Okay. Right, I think we're clear. She finally looks down and notices her leg. Oh, shit. She looks around for some rags, some clean cloths, something she can rip apart for bandage.
Might be able to help there. I could try.
Oh, well, I'm sure you do a better job than I can. I'm not very skilled with bandaging and such.
She comes over and I'm not, does Ayla still have the healing ability?
I don't know. You have a harm ability.
I have a few harm abilities.
Yeah, you don't have any. You do not have healing any longer.
Oh yeah, she holds her hands up for a second and then she shakes her head. Yeah.
Why can't you hear her?
I lost it.
Rothmyr's gonna narrow his eyes at her for a minute, and then he's got his knife to the guy's throat, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, sure. He's prone. One thing I want to go through real quick. So you also have a critical wound, right? So you have the. Before we just move on real quick, you have foreign objects, so you can try to stabilize it.
Oh, I do first aid.
Yeah, you can use first
I do
aid.
have clotting powder. I have clotting powder to stop bleeding.
That'll stop the bleeding for sure.
Sorsha looks down. I think a bit of my armor got caught in the wound.
Let me take a look at it. I'll do the old-fashioned way. Sit down.
Ayla, I have clotting powder in my pouch here.
Toss it to me.
And he tosses it over, and he says, he looks back towards the soldier. What are you doing here in this house?
What do you mean? I'm being boarded here, as is our right.
Why are there so many?
He frowns. You guys can give me an intimidation with like a +5 if you want.
I think Rothmyr should roll that one.
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, he's got
Wait.
intimidation as a skill, so...
I think I might. I do as well. Surprisingly.
Sorsha's too likable.
I don't know how good Rothmyr's intimidation.
Yeah, can we
Yeah,
both
you
do it?
can. Yeah, that's what you're going
Oh,
against.
perfect. Let's see who's better at it.
Where's my
It's
intimidation?
it's under Will.
Yeah.
So he's more looking at Ayla just for the fact that he noticed that she was doing something weird in the background, and when she did it, he immediately felt like his insides were being turned outside. And he, oh, fine, fine. Oh, we're gathering for another invasion of the North.
Where exactly?
I don't know that. Just a simple man-at-arms.
Are you sure you don't know that?
I haven't been given orders yet, but to come up here and take a lodging.
Where do you get your orders from?
Well, we have a lieutenant in this town.
Where is your lieutenant?
I'm not sure exactly. He stays at the inn.
And what does he look like exactly?
Mustache, balding fella. Rothmyr, that description fits perfectly the guy you passed in the hallway in the inn. And now that you're thinking of it, his shirt that he was wearing had a very high collar, which now that you realize it, it's clearly a Nilfgaardian dress.
I saw that one in the tavern.
Good to know. What do you want to do with this one, Rothmyr?
I can help you. I can be of a great help. Just don't kill me. I'll help you. I'll even switch sides to the north. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just a simple man, a soldier.
Unsurprising. We should. Staying around here, we're sure to be discovered, Rothmyr. We should head north, see if someone will listen to us.
Rothmyr's like staring at the sky, and all he can think of is his mother swinging from the tree and them soldiers raping her and stuff. Can he just cut this guy's throat?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he slices his throat and then starts stabbing him several times in the back of the head. Over and over.
Yeah, he just spills out in blood in front of you.
Nilfgaardian garbage. It's bleeding all over your father's floor.
What have you done? What have you done?
And Rothmyr stands there with the blade all bloodied and looking angry still at his father. And they won't eat your food anymore, Father.
They won't have to. I'll be dead. The whole army will come here and wipe us from this lands. When they find out these men are missing, they'll burn down the whole town. What have you done, you fool?
Are you good at lying? I could perhaps tie you up here. You've got enough bruises already. Tell them that some rebels came through.
I'm good enough at lying until they put me in an Iron Maiden and shut it on me. They'll torture me, just to make sure, and then I'll sing. I'll have to leave this place. How am I going to get out of here?
Did the soldiers have any horses?
Oh, I am stabling a couple.
Well, perhaps you'd better get on one.
And what about you, lad? Looks to Rothmyr.
I'd rather just burn this place.
That's not what I mean. I mean, the town. They're going to come after you. They're going to, and if they don't catch you, they're going to take it out on innocent people. You know how the Nilfgaardians are.
He's right.
Rothmyr kind of looks down, maybe a little bit of worry at what he's done, but he shakes it out of his head and says, "I'm leaving, and you would do well to do the same, Father. I'm needed elsewhere."
There will be reprisals, no doubt. I wonder how much this place can take before the people decide to fight back.
It wouldn't matter. What can they do against such men, such an army?
Poison, fire, surprise.
Well, in these lands we don't have a fancy sorceress. He looks over to Ayla. Or strong fighters, or simple men and women.
Rothmyr looks towards Ayla at that, and what happened to your healing powers? Why are they different? What's gone wrong?
Ayla looks very plainly to Roth. They left after I killed Elyon.
And as she says that she killed Elyon, it might be a bit of a surprise. And as she says that, the four of you stand in Rothmyr's father's home, the place he'd grown up, and just outside his mother was killed. This place holds no particular fond sentiments at the very least. But in the distance somewhere, Piter bends an ear about a man coming to town. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Bum bum bum.